and then I'll start. Right, so today we're going to discuss basic code um, in Java, as well as we are going to also relate the idea of object-oriented principles. Okay, so this time we are going to go to to our project, and let's say we are going to develop a UI for, let's say, we're going to handle that records management system. So let's create a pet records management system. Right. Okay, so right after that, we are going to create a basic UI for our pet records management system, and then we're going to store it to a file. So right here, um, let's have basic uh, information on how we manage our what they call this one, our records, or the records of our pets. So let's start with the label. So say we have here let's say we have here LBL ID of the pet, LBL name. So we have LBL type, and then we have LBL price. So the data. These are the data that we are going to store to our pet. So we only have one, two, three, four, five, six. Na up to six lang muna. Okay, so right after that one, we are going to create an equivalent and data entry for each of this. So let's start with the txt field. This is for txt ID, and then we have for txt name, and then let's have for age. But if we would like to make the age calculated value, we can actually include birth date of the pet. But this time, let's just take it the age as an input, okay, and together with actually the price. Okay, so now let's go with sorry for a while. Sorry, txt age, and then this would be txt price. Okay, then we'll have combo box for our gender. So we have here CBO gender, and then CBO type. Okay, so that stands for combo box. Okay, and then it's all up to us if we're going to use the inheritance in creating a frame, so we can extend JFrame, or we can actually create, or we can actually do as a relationship, which is composition. So but this time, let's take advantage of inheritance. So let's say we have here extends JFrame. Okay, so JFrame. All right, so let's create a constructor for this one. So pet records management system, and then let's instantiate all of these objects right here. So upon instantiating it, we are actually creating an instance of the class, not the encapsulated class. So we have here LBL ID equals new label. All right, so we have here, let's say ID, okay, and then let's have also for each of this labels. So we have here name, then we have here age, and then we have here gender, and then let's have for type, and then for price. Okay, so let's just change this to name, age, and that we have here for gender, and that we have here for type, and also we have here for price. Okay, so now let's also have an equivalent instantiation for each of our text fields. So you have here J text field, okay, and okay, so let's also do this for or do also for our name, age, and price. So let's just copy paste this one and there. Okay, and then let's have for combo box. So CBO gender is equal to new J combo box. Okay, and then we can have here like it can only store, or we can have here it can only store integer, or if you want that for that combo box to store as many as as much as data or whatever data you would like to, you can actually omit this one or remove that one. Okay, so meaning there's no explicit value that you're going to manage for your combo box. Okay, and then you also have for CBO type. Okay, and we lack more. Probably we'll need J button. So we have here J button, BTN. Let's say save, BTN edit or update or something like that. So update na lang. And then we have BTN delete, and then BTN, let's say cancel, and then we have BTN close probably. So we're going to instantiate all of this right here. So new J button. So right here we have a an instantiation for each of our buttons. So let's say we have here save, and let's do this also with the rest of the buttons. Okay, so let's say we have here update, and we have here for delete, and then yeah, so let's do also this to uh, cancel, and to our what we call this one, to the button close. Okay, right. So now that we have already instantiated our objects, so this are instantiation, right? So this time, what we are going to do is, of course, since we expect that we are actually going to put this in a frame, so right now we are going to place this to a frame. But before that, let's have panel first to assign each of our let's say we are going to arrange them in a panel, but before that we'll create a frame first. So this time let's have here the title of our frame. So let's say this is pet. So we have here pet management system. Okay, and then let's have here set size, and let's say we are going to create a width of, let's say 400. Okay, let's have here 700, and then for our height let's have here 500. I guess okay na yan siya. And then let's have set relative location to null, so that it will be placed at the center, and then we will have here set visible, of course, to make it visible. So let's have here true, and then let's have here set default close operation, and we're going to be using dispose on close. Okay, so now that the our frame is already set. So let's try this one out if this is actually doing okay. So let's call here the our class, the constructor of our class. So we have pet records management system. So instead of creating an instance of that, we can actually call the new. So it would mean that you're actually calling the constructor. Okay, so now we are going to run our program and sige. So there, I guess okay siya. Ana siya, no? So let's have probably mga 4 na lang, 400, no? 400 for our. And so we have 700 by 400 pixels. Okay, so now we can choose whatever we can actually choose whatever what they call this one a layout managers or layout manager we are going to apply for our UI. But let's have the very is the easiest one, which is um what they call this one. You have the grid layout. Okay, so we're gonna be using grid layout for all this now. So let's say for the personal information. Okay, but instead of we are going to put that in a frame, let's put that in a panel. Okay, so this time we're going to create a panel first. So let's have here panel. So let's say this is panel info, something like that. And we're going to instantiate first a panel info. So right. So yeah. So J panel info is equal to new J panel. Okay. And then where is it? Okay. So we'll have here a so that we're able to put this panel info there in our frame. So let's place this one muna. So let's have here panel info that set size. Okay, so we'll have here a dimension, width, and height. So probably because we have 700 and 400 by pixels for our width and height, most probably we don't, parang we can only have for our height less than 400. So let's say we have here a 300, okay? And then let's have for our width. So let's say let's place it like 1/4 of of our frame. So we can have here like 200, okay, or 300. Yan. And okay, so wait for a while. This one here, 300. Okay, 300 by let's say 300. Okay, so now for our panel info so that we are able to see if which this particular panel info is located, we can actually put a border to it. So let's say we have here set border. Let's have here border factory. And we'll have here create titled border. So let's say we have here um, pet information, okay, or pet form or something like that. Okay, so now we're going to put this panel to our frame. So we can put a color for our panel just for us to show if there is really panel on top of JFrame. But since we already have a title folder for our panel, we can actually see it there. No? Parang makita nato siya ang panel on top of a JFrame. So this time, we're going to have here add this component as a panel. So we have, okay, so let's have here panel info. Okay, so let's check if we are actually able to put that panel info. Now, this will follow as you can see, we have here the panel, but it occupies the entire form or the entire frame. So all we need to do is we are going to place this in a way that we make this as like only occupying to up to like three-fourths of our frame. So of course, the best way to do that is either we follow a certain layout manager. But this time, let's have the set layout, which is set bounds. So this time, we are going to make our frame follows no layout manager. So this time, let's have null. And okay, so we're going to position our panel there in our, let's say, let's have here, let's put this in a 10 by 10 x and y coordinates. And then right after that, we are going to have here, since we have this set size here, we can actually remove this one. And then instead, we are going to put here the size of our panel. So when we get to run our program or our frame, this would give us this one, no? This panel right here. So on top of this panel, we are going to put those components right here that we actually created. So now that we have already put the J panel in on top of our J frame, it's now our time. It's now the time to put all those components on top of a panel. So meaning to say, the swing components will be placed on top of the J panel info, and then on top of the JFrame is actually the panel info. So they are actually grouped together. So this time we'll have here so let's remove this one, or I'm not gonna be removing this one. So instead, at least you'll be informed about the set size that is already set here. So we have to remove now there. So we have here info that let's say set layout, and let's use grid layout. Okay. So if we try to look at our what they call this one, our data on the data, I mean the data that we expect to manage for our pet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to have, let's say, 6 rows, and then we have 2 columns, so that we don't have much of like set mounts for each of this when we are going to put them or store them in our record, or in our, what they call this one, in our program. Okay, so now let's assign this panel, I mean this things right here. So we have panel info that add. Okay, so let's start with the label ID. Okay, and it will be beside it is actually the txt id. Okay, so we have here txt id, and then let's copy paste all this panel up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one more. And let's have here assign the name. Okay, and let's have here the probably gender. Okay, and then we have here the age. We have here the price. Okay, and we lack one more, which is for type. So, yeah, so let's put type after age. Okay. Or,
Sir,
yes po.
sir nga na may
Hmm.
LBL tas ID dayon, LBL name.
Sa kanina part,
Oh, sa panel info sir, na LBL ID.
ibutang na to siya sa panel kaning mga labels. Kani gani siya katong gihimo na to kani. Ibutang na to siya sa panel. Di ba katong ganina, ang nakita nyo panel pa lang, tama? Nakita to nyo ganina katong panel pa lang ang
Oh, sir,
nag.
kanang mo kasulod.
Okay. So, example, we don't set, actually, itong gibuhat karon is, in ani siya. Kaning panel natong gibutang sa frame, sige akong ano na bisayaon. Ang kaning panel gibatong nato siya sa frame. That instead of kanina mga components ipatong nato siya directly to frame, i-group sa nato siya into panel before nato ipatong ang panel sa frame. Now, ang idea nato dre is ibutang sa nato siya si panel sa frame, and then butangan nato si panel o katong mga components, and so that dili na ta magsigig set bounds for each of our components or component rather. So mao na instead na si firm ang mag-add sa i-add nato siya na ang mga component like LBL ID, LBL name, this things there here kay si panel na lang atong gibutang. So actually when we get to run this one, this will only give us uh like this one, no? So name, ID, name, blah blah blah. But yeah, because I never finished past the this one, so I'll have to put here name. So probably I have here gender. Okay. Oops, CBO pala. CBO gender. Then we have here TXT age. Okay, and then we have CBO type. Okay, and let's have here um, TXT price. Okay, so as we all know, when we use grid layout, this will give us a same exact value of the size now of our elements or our components. So at this, if you don't like this one, you can actually use flow layout. You can actually use border layout, box layout, or any layout manager. But for this, the best way or the easiest way for our so that we are able to achieve whatever we are going to achieve for today, we will be using this what you call this one grid layout. Okay, so it would be better if if you want to parang i-compress pa nato gamay ato ang panel by let's say 200, so that this will at least lesser the size, no, parang magwapo-wapo po siya tan-awon. So at least from the earlier output kanina using 300 for our panel, medyo na-expand po ang mga sizes sa ato ang text field. Either mag-add ka o another text fields, let's say color or sa brood. So pwede yun ana, no? So you can have that one. I mean, yeah, you can always have that. Say, let's say we have CBO gender, no, CBO brood, because each pet has brood, right? So we can also use here like LBL brood. So instead, you can actually, yeah, before that, you will have to instantiate first the brood. So let's have here LBL brood, and then you have here the breed. Not as what we call this one, as nice looking I mean design, but at least now you are the one who actually designed it in your program. So I mean, doesn't matter how it looks, but how it actually works. Okay. For now, no. But of course, you can always develop a more attracting UI. Okay, and as long as it will work now, you can after you can actually focus on the design. So we can include here like brood. So we have here LBL Let's say we are going to put this right after the type. So yeah, here the brood, and then let's have here CBO. Okay, brood. Now, if we are going to run this one, this will give us a little bit parang too compressed, no? Because I mean, now have 7 rows, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So as grid layout suggested, it has to be in a row by column idea na pag-arrange na to sa data or sa tuang component. So there, um, medyo compressed kayo siya ang iyang space sa iyang space. So we can actually extend this to like 300 ang iyang size sa panel so that dili pud kay siya inana ka sana, or if maybe probably 300 is a little bit parang taas lang, so we can set it to like 250 para di kay siya inana ka sana. So medyo okay na siya now. Okay, so right after this one, you can actually put this one in a in a method, no? Like you can always put this in a method. Let's say we have here public void. Let's say set components. Okay, something like this one, and then put it here, and then you just call here set components para limpyo imuhang file. Okay, so set components there. Okay, you can also put this one in a method if you want to, no, like set instantiation or whatever you would like to. So you can also do this or put this in a function or a method. So para limpyo imong program. Okay, so I mean you can always do that, no. So let's say we are going to make a method, let's say public void init. Normally, if mag-UI, if mag-drag and drop ka sa NetBeans or mag-drag and drop tag UI, maghimo kang GUI sa mga drag and drop na framework or drag and drop na IDE, this will probably give us an init function or method. Okay, so we can actually use that. Okay, but we are the one who actually did it, no? So let's say we have here init. Okay, so instead you are actually grouping your components in that way, no? So and then this will give you similar output. Okay, so now we are going to do go further. So let's have here go get to assign more. So let's put this button there in our frame. So we also going to make panel buttons so that we can also arrange them, no? The panel buttons in a panel. Now this time I'm going to show you a panel that doesn't have any like invisibility on our frame. So it's an invisible panel. So let's say I'm going to instantiate it here. Set components. So let's say I'm going to put it here. Let's say uh, panel buttons. Okay, is equal to new J panel. Okay, and then I'm going to put all my buttons there. So panel buttons that add. So I'm going to add the btn save. Sorry, yeah, btn save. Also going to put here the what was it? We have cancel. Okay, so we have cancel. Okay, and then we have here the update. We're also going to put here delete. Okay, and then one last one, which is the close. Okay, so now we have already added the our buttons to our panel. So let's make this as like, instead of set components, let's have here, let's say set buttons. Okay, lang. Okay, so we forgot to tell our compiler on how are we going to position our buttons. So let's say we are going to position our buttons in still now set layout weapon. So we can use new flow layout. I mean, it's all up to you. You can use the align the gapping, no? So you can have the gaps here in between. So let's say we have here 2, 3, and 2, 3, and 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. And then after that, so we have the initialization, set components, and then we have your set buttons right here. Okay? So para dili kayo siya tanan sa ato ang constructor. Okay. Now, of course, we'll need to put the panel to our frame. So we'll need to do that by, so since then, so this is now where the calculation is. So that, no, okay, group na to siya into panel so that we are not going to assign set bounds for each of the component. So we group them in a panel so that we are only going to do set bounds for our panel. At least na minimize ato ang set bounds, no? So yan. So this time, since we have um, this is the tama ba? Height na nino, width nino. Width din siya, 300. That's iyang kalaparon. So, probably we still have the same x and x coordinates, but for y, we'll need to go up or more, at least mas taas siya sa 250. So, probably if you want, pwede 280 or 300. Let's see na lang. And then, 300 here. So, pwede natin 280. Try na to. And then for the wood, we can extend up to, if you wish, uh, our our panel na mag-expand up to, it's ano, this one, pwede na to siya ibutang up to like 600. Okay? And then for our wood, kaya na siguro ni siya by like 50 or 80. So, i-try na to siya. And then, okay, wait for a while. This is kasi panel info ni siya. Dapat panel buttons. So, I'm so sorry, I haven't changed the object component right here. So, there we have the save, the cancel, and then the update, delete, and close. So, I mean, guys, if you want to like put the save and cancel here, like place at the center, and then the update all throughout, delete and close. You can actually put here, what they call this one, something like another invisible button. So that's what actually we do if ever we don't have anything that is going to put in between. So what we actually do is we we just put a panel, a button, or kasi kung button man siya, let's say new J button. So a J button with an empty button. So medyo glaring siya, medyo klaro siya sa imong UI, no? Medyo klaro, so clickable siya. So possible kung gusto ka na inana, you can use J label instead. So like J label. So this is what we call like pansit codes, no? So medyo pansit codes ang tawag na to ani kay we actually include mga invisible components just for us to position our what we call this one, our mm, our components properly. So we have here, okay, we have the save and button. So we can also use grid layout. So it's up to you. So for grid layout, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So most probably this is like one row and we have 7 columns. Okay. So, and then if you guys would like to run your program, you would have here this one. Okay. But medyo not okay siya. Sige, ato siyang i-arrange by actually, putang nato na siya into 700. Okay, try na to siya sabay 700. Or let's start with 600 na lang. Okay? And then, because dako kayo ang 80, so probably iano to siya by 60. Para di kayo siya dako ang width, ay ang height, no? Medyo taas kayo ang height niya. So actually, taas pa gyapon ang height. So we can have here like um, 40. Okay? So let's try. Or 40 or 20. Tanaw na to. But kung okay na to sa 40, so that's it. Okay, and then you can have here before the asa na to tong panel buttons. So pwede nimo siya ibutang siya before the panel save para medyo center siya gamay ang save and cancel. So there is parang one invisible value for save and cancel, then update, delete, and close or something like that, no? So you can always do that or rearrange that once nakaset na nimo siya into a JPanel. Di ba mas dali siya? Mas dili siya ano I mean the ang UI development is a little bit easier. Kung especially if you're not fan of drag and drop. And because what we are actually doing here is we want to apply object-oriented principles, right? And this is how would you would like to this is how you would appreciate OOP, not by drag and drop. You will never appreciate OOP pag mag drag and drop ka. Okay? So right after that, we are going to put here something like a table, no? So we can put here a table. So let's say let's have here J table. So let's say we'll name it as TBL pet. Okay. And so since TBL pet is actually it's still parang object siya with no visibility at all. I mean, that's normal. So we'll need to have a model for it, no? So we are actually going to call default table model. So default table model. Okay. So let's say if by J default table model. So wala default table model pa rin. That's for our abstract window toolkit. Okay. Swing gap on there. Sorry. Okay, and then let's have your model pet. Okay, so now what we are going to do with this one is we are going to put this TBL pet as well as with the model. We are going to put model so that we can easily put value to our table. So this is actually the idea of default table model. No, yeah, easy to manage. Okay, like storing, updating. Okay, updating, and deleting records, and even searching for a record. Okay? So, medyo okay. Medyo nakuha na to ang hapit na pa kompleto itong program. Then later on, we'll do the back end for our program. Okay, so let's instantiate our tables. Okay, so let's say we are going to instantiate them here. LBL pet is equal to new J table. Okay, and then we'll have here model UJ the default table model, and then let's say we have the what they call this one Parang let's put their objects. Wait lang. So default table model. And then let's put here the objects. Don't mind whatever is displayed. So I'm just going to assign here. So later on, we're going to assign sa tawag mga value sa object. So let's say we have columns because that's what it is assigned to, no, a default table model. So we'll need to have here para makita na to na yung table. Okay, so we'll have here ID, name, though we can use vector. I'm going to show you later on. So we have ID, name, what else? So ito na pasunod na to. ID, name, gender, text, age type. So ID, name, gender, that we have here the age, and then we have the type, S, ayan. And then we have breed, and then we have the price. Okay? And then for columns, for rows naman, so the rows will be, of course, the record that we're going to put in our field, no? So, but this time we're just going to assign muna the rows or the values initially. Okay? So let's start with, let's say, 101, Anna. Okay, this is only for showing you, no, na ay display na to ang record sa ato ang table. So let's have here, okay, 12, and then we have dog, and then say dachshund, and then let's have here the price. So as you can see, para string objects sila lahat. Okay, it doesn't matter because again, we don't calculate naman, I mean, pwede maghapon na siya any value, no, will do. So let's put it na string lang tanan. Okay, so now, let's assign this model, okay, to, ibutang na to siya diri si model. Okay, model pet. Okay. Okay. Then after that, we are going to add the table model, or the table rather. So we have TBL pet. Okay. So since the height, no, the x coordinate of panel info, so dapat ibut na to siya beside panel info, so it has to be, ang x niya should be more than its width, which is 300. So probably butan na to siya by 320, okay, or 320. And then the x coordinate should be the same, which is 10. So meaning magka-plus talent sila. But if you want to na medyo ano siya gamay, you can have it like 30. And then for the size, let's have here dili 600 kasi we have already the 300. So probably we'll have here 380. Okay, 380 kasi 320 plus 380 is actually 700. So putang akong allowance to 70 para di kaya siya daplin. And then we'll have here, since we have 250 for our panel info, probably we'll do the same, to panel info. All right, so now let's run our program. Let's see if we are actually able to display our tables there. As you can see, you have already the tables. Okay, so dilipad nyo siya makita, but later on we're gonna be showing it. So actually, dili pa siya, kani siya, okay na ni siyang yung size. So let's have here 230, and then yung y coordinate should be like siguro mga 50. Okay. Okay na ni siya, pero i-cut na to siya gamay diri og like mga 200. Sige, try na to by 200 if okay siya. So, but, ayan. So, 210 siguro. Okay? So, inana. Depende sa inyong kung satisfied naman na. Okay? So we have already there the table. All right. So try na to daw. Buta na to tag scroll pane. New J scroll. Try na to. If we are able to actually display, mm, oops. Let's wait for a while. Here. So let's have here TBL pen. And okay, so lagay natin dito si columns. Is that right? First, columns or row. Check muna natin ha. If what is first. So row pala. So we'll have the row or rows and then we'll have here the column. Okay? So this is just parang ano muna ha. Giset na lang muna natin siya. Wait. Okay. What happens here is that hmm, it's not accepting the rows and columns. So this is I see. So first is the column and then sige. So we have here the columns first muna. Then we'll have here initially let's have here five parang rows. And then yeah, so ID, name, gender, age, blah blah blah, and then this should be like put in a vector. So pwede ato sa siyang i-assign sa vector. Let's say add row or something. New vector. But don't you worry, we're gonna be storing this later on. This is just to show that to show a table in our panel. And then let's have here the rows. This let's say if this one is allowed. So mhm, mm, dili siya pwede. So let's have here add row. Sorry, add row. Or let's have tayo na to si model pet. Model pet that add row. Okay, and then rows. Yun pala. Okay? And then, okay, so see there we have, because I put there like 5, so pwede na to siya ibutang dire to like 0 muna. Okay? Wait. Okay, so there, that's the expected output that we are going to have in our program. So every time we actually type here, blah, 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 and then save, and then it is expected to put here or to be stored here. And with the text file or file handling management, we are also going to make or store this in a permanent mechanism. Okay, for now, what happened? So wait. Why is it nag-green money? Anyway, so now let's have a one more for LBL, like LBL search, and then for TXT search naman, TXT search. So TXT search. So for LBL and search and TXT search, we just put them directly. So di na ta maghimog panel, pero I mean, oh yeah, pwede ta, But again, pwede po tayo maghimog panel for this one, but depende na sa to ang inyong gusto. But para mas dali, ato na siyang ano sa directly. Anyway, duha lang man sila ka component. So let's have here we have, let's say, search, and then for txt search equals new j okay, text field. All right, so let's add them in our frame. So calculation should be for label search should be uh, same sa x coordinate sa to ang panel info, and same po siya sa y coordinate. Okay, but the size must be after 3, pwede siya tungod sa ato ang what we call this one, atong table, and then ang size is of course medyo gamay-gamay na to siya. Let's say since the size of our panel info is, ang height niya is, wait, 240, this is, it's a my size na to. Kasi butasan na itong 20, okay? And then for our txt search, okay, txt search, you have here 10, then the y coordinate should be, the x coordinate should be more than the, tama dahil ang coordinate nato must be more than 300 sa x coordinate. So this should be more than 300, tama, 3, is it 320? Try na to. Okay, and this should be also 320, no, 380. And then same siya 10. Okay, para siya pa going there sa right side. So, dako ra kaya to ang, kasi dagko kayang size, no, and width. So buta to rin mga 70 lang. Let's try and let's run this. And okay, so ayun, medyo gamay na po ang text field. So pwede natin siya padakon gamay to 120. Okay, so yun. Okay, another idea before we'll move on with the crude, no, the parang back end of this simple UI that we have. So did you know that we can actually put this in a separate like separate class by, let's say, this, pwede natin siya ibutang dito sa like mag-create a panel, let's say let's say panel info na class, and then this panel info right here, wait, so let's just wait. This will extend, instead of a frame, this will extend JPanel. So this is what's the advantage of knowing, what we call this one, knowing a, shall we say, object-oriented principle. Because you're able to actually work around with your codes. So let's say for an instance, we are going to, so this time, ako ipakita sa inyo. Let's say we are not going to call the panel info. Okay. Assuming we don't have panel info, and if we're going to run this program right here, of course, we don't have anything in the panel info, right? So what we are going to do is, instead of we are going to actually call this panel info right here in this particular class, we are actually going to call it right here. So that's the good thing about the object-oriented principle is because you can actually separate things, the objects, as long as you want to, no? Pwede mo siya ipang-separate ang object. So, since we have for, I guess, all this one except for search. So, let's remove the search. Remove lang nato na siya. Okay, and we also have here, remove po nato si search, I guess, because it's not part of the panel. And, of course, the button here. Okay, all right. So, right here, we are going to instantiate. So, where's the instantiation part here? So, we can actually instantiate them there in the panel info. Okay, assuming that we completely parang erase all this na kani sila, no? I mean, gibali na to siya dire. Okay? And then, okay, wait for a while. So, this is panel info. Ayan. Okay, and then let's remove the XT search and LBL search. And then right after that, we are going to, where is the panel info, this one. So we can actually copy this one and then paste it here. Pwede nyo siya i-cut, but it's all up to you. Pwede na to siya i-cut dito siya. Pwede na pag i-store na to siya dire. But this time, instead of we are going to have panel info, we can actually directly call, since we already parang, how do I say this? Since this is already a panel, so no need of requiring panel instance. So you can just remove this and then remove all this one right here. Okay, erase na to siya. Erase. This is the essence of OOP, no? Objects are flexible enough, okay? And then, after this, butang na to siya. So this time, instead of, we are actually calling these components in this particular class. So let's say we are going to actually call this one panel info right here in a separate class. We can actually do that, right? So to do that, you just simply call add and then new panel info. Okay, so I guess it's from the other separate class, which is this one, kani. Okay, so actually para makita niyo na difference siya, I could have here, let's say pet ID, pet name, pet age, or whatever I am going to put pa sa, at least makita niyo na lahi siya na kaniyang gitawag, because again this will display identical this parang UI, but it's a matter of what actually, wait, asa na to, okay, set bounds, kulang tag set bounds, and it's a matter of, sige lang, try sa nato ha. Let's see if this work. Okay, what happened? So we have panel info. Let's check on our. Okay. All right. So we haven't called set components. So let's call here set components, or you can actually put here the set components all the way up here. Iisa niyo siya. It's up to you. But again, you can work around with your codes as long as you are well off with OOP. No? So there. So you can actually see here, instead of only ID name, you can see that you have your pet ID, pet name, and that's actually, I'm proving you that I'm actually calling my panel info from a separate class instead of this built-in panel components. So that's what we called flexibility in terms of implementation of object-oriented principles. So you just separate, you just declare it, design it separately. So if you're like working as a team together, you can actually assign someone who can do UI for this module, another do someone who will do this for module, and we can work around together in the main, and then we just call each one's creation and then put it in a single ano na, parang single. I'm gonna show you later on how it is, uh, not a walkthrough on it, but an example of what I did on how I actually come up with a single UI, but it actually comes from separate classes. Though it's medyo confusing and medyo a little bit dili na siya kay masabtan, but in terms of manageability as well as its maintainability, it will be easier because again, you don't have to wait for someone to finish the task and you are hanging with your own task because every task is given to each role or to each member, and they can work simultaneously. You can work simultaneously, and you can work all together at the same time. So that's the essence of OOP. Now, if your idea is like, syempre drag and drop mo, and then you just put all the codes there in one single UI, and that's only one person can work for it. Okay, so I just hope you are able to understand that. So again, so if you're going to ask me now, so pwede na ba ni siya mawala ng mga LBLID? Yeah, of course. You can actually remove all this one from here. So because this is actually flexible. Yeah, you can actually remove all this from here without actually like without actually parang having problem with what will happen to my UI. So it's just a matter of, okay, I can actually remove this one. Okay. And also with this one. All right. So, and still, if I'm going to run this one, I would still give, so wait for a while, there's null pointer. Probably there's one component that I haven't declared. So this is under Java 32. So this is the panel info. So yan, kana diyang ano. So let's run again the program, and there. So you still have your component intact. So that's what I would like you to appreciate with, you really do it from scratch, and you so that you're able to appreciate the idea of OOP. Okay, especially because back end and front end are completely a separate task. So unless you're a full stack developer, you are the one who creates the both, no, the UI and the back end and the front end. So yeah, no, this is what I have show. This is what I am trying to show you, that you can actually do that. So in a game, that's what we normally do. I mean that's what they normally do. No, they'll have to, as a team, they'll have to work together and make sure that each one has a role and each one has a module or unit that is going to like yang buhaton, and then after that they can meet at a certain time, and then that's the time they are going to parang put all together na all their works. Okay, so now I have just shown you that. So but let's go back to this one. To Anyway, nothing will is going to change with our code. So only that instead of this one, imo lang siyang ano, either you use whatever, I mean you use but just be resourceful, no? Kung kani ba na component imong gitawag to same function, but of course kung mawala na ni siya dire, medyo limpyo imong codes every class, then you can actually do other class or create another class and separate all the tasks. In fact, separate all the codes. In fact, pwede nimo ni siya ipang separate ang save, mga buttons is separate po nimo ning tables. We can actually do that. Okay? So if this one is possible na na-separate na to, why not this things right here? So meaning to say, someone can actually work with the panel info design and with the button and with the table, and then we can meet all together. Then mo ko ba itagpi-tagpi na to siya. And that's the essence of object-oriented principle. Okay, so now let's work on with only one class muna. So again, I'm going to show you at the this one. So this is just in one class. So intact pa rin siya, but this time wala ng pet ID, pet name because we don't call particularly the this one, no, katong panel info, which is it has pet ID, pet name. All right. Now this time, we're going to create another class, but this time we're going to create a database class. But this time it's just a database that stores record to a text file. Still, it's a database, but it's not a relational database. All right. So, and this is what we do the back end for our program. So this is just plain the UI, and then the actions are here, but the processing, the logic are actually found here. Okay. So let's start working with this one. So let's have here the so just the usual encapsulation or encapsulating a class. We do here private components. So we have, let's say, private file here. Let's have here my file. So let's name our file as my file, and then let's have here uh, mm, file reader or file writer. Unahon sa atong file writer. And then so we have here fwrite. Okay, and then let's have also file reader. So there are actually a lot of things, no? I mean, a lot of ways to do this one. So, yan, fread. So we can actually make this like declared multiple in that kanina siya na declaration. And then probably we are going to use scanner, okay, for reading the file. So let's just define it by null, or actually pwede sa wala, no? Or sige, puta na to siya mga null values there, and then null. Let's have here null values. Okay, so we can create a constructor for our database. So let's have here, let's say the name of our file here is, of course, you can always have here anything like any file. So let's say the name of our file is actually pet.txt. Okay. And then after that, it is going to create a file under this text file, pet.txt. So we can also assign like, sorry, or create a overloaded constructor for our file, let's say name or file name, something like that. So meaning the user is going to choose either what file name he wants to in creating a file. So let's say we have here file name, okay, and then plus whatever on sa iyang i-putang or i-store na file. Okay, and then now what we are going to do is let's say we are going to uh, store file and display records from our file. So what we're going to do is first we capture the records or the data from here. Okay. So by capturing it, we'll need to pass anything from here to here. Okay, and then i-process na tong records from this UI. Okay. So, and then store na to siya to a text file. So, let's say we are going to have here public void, let's say store or add record, ayan na, or store, or sige, store to file, Okay, and let's have here records. So the records will be the data or the value that is read from here. Okay. So if you can notice record string lang siya, because what we are going to do is, since it's not a database, it's just a file, we can actually concatenate all the records read from txt id, name, gender, and then we put it is in a single string, and then pass it all the way down here, okay, as a one single text file, or one single file, or one single string, and then store it to a text file. So now we'll do try and catch, but it's just optional for now, but we can actually do that. It would be better if you do try and catch, no? So anyway, so try and catch. And then let's include finally. So finally is a block where it is always called, okay, or automatically called whenever ang ato ang file, or whenever ang ato ang there is problem with reading the certain code, regardless kung walay error or nay error, finally will always be um, parang tawagon. So this is used for closing our text file. Okay, so now we can call this wait, fwrite. So here, so fwrite is equal to new. Okay, so file writer, then we'll have the my file. So meaning whatever is the value of your my file, it depends on this one ba or this one ba. So it will create, kung kani atong ipag-instantiate sa tong record sa instantiate sa object sa database, this will give us that text. If ever we will do another one, like the programmer is going to assign you whatever file name. So this will have the file name that you set, and then that, of course, that text extension. Okay, so let's have here the fwrite that close. Okay, so what happened here is okay. So because we don't have here exception handling. So let's say we have, kaya natin ibutan. Butan na tag error message here. So error public um butang dari error message. Okay? And string error. All right? And then let's have here J option pane that show message, and then null, and then let's have here the error. Okay, so yeah, then let's have here, let's call this the error message here. So let's say error signature niya is error 101 store to file. Okay, and then sumpay na to unsay error. Read by gihatag throw away sa ato ang program. So e dot get, so you can have get message to string. So it's up to you, but this time para di kay taas ang error, so let's have get message. But nato siyang backslash. And so with this one, wait, it seems like dili niya mabasa. So let's remove muna finally, and let's put the fwrite that goes here. Okay. So okay, so what we are going to do with this one is, let's store the records. So fwrite that, okay, write, and then let's have the records. Okay, so that's what we are going to do now. So from here, we can have the, oh, by the way, this is another Well, you can have the listener here. We can also have a separate listener for for our for our for this class. Pero para dili kayo siya ang sana dili na sa tamag action listener. So action listener. Okay? And then let's add the abstract method of action listener. So just click on add unimplemented methods and there. Okay. So let's say if e dot get source. So I know you know this one already, right? Kaya mao na itong gipakitaan ako elaboration last time. So let's say we have save. Okay? And yeah, so once we save the record, by the way, ato sa siyang btn save that action listener, then to this, and we'll also do for all other remaining buttons. Okay, so update, cancel, close, and then delete, and then we have for save at delete, close. More man ini. Okay, sige. So now, we're going to capture the components. Okay, so kung unsa tong gi-type sa user diri mao to tong store dito sa going padulong diri sa database. So para ma-store na to siya, we can actually the easiest way is to actually get the values now. So to get the values from there or from here directly to a string, no, isa na sa pamaagi na pwede na to buhaton. So let's say we have here string or store to file or string hold na lang. Sige, let's go this one, and then so let's have your txt id that get text. Ayan. Okay, and then followed by let's have backslash t. After that, we have txt name that get text. So yan, and then we have also backslash t for let's say cbo gender. Okay, that get selected item. Okay, so kana lang sa, I won't finish this one because this is not what we are going to actually do, but I'm just going to show you how this things right here nagi-capture na to from here to ma-record siya to our text file. Okay, so to do this one, storing sa text file para masabtan ninyo, dili na to siya i-ano tanan. Okay, so now I'm going to instantiate here database. So let's say d or db equals new the name of my database. So as you can see, I can set or assign whatever I would like to do. So pwede na I would assign this automatically. This is pet.text. So if I'm going to call this like right here, so db.store to text file. So I have here the hold, and then so let's say I'm going to run the program now, and let's say I type something here. So Mart. Okay, I don't have the gender value, so I forgot. But again, if I'm going to click this like save, it seems like there's nothing happens. But when you get to visit here, when you get to run refresh this, you'll have here the text. And as you can see, you have already here 100 mark, and null is already recorded. Now, if ever, okay, one more, ano pa, if ever na, let's say I'm going to store that to, let's say, I want to create my own like my own text file. So let's say pet record. Okay. So if I do this, of course, and if I'm going to run this one, yeah, so magbutang sa data tree og let's say gender, asa naman tong gender na to. Ayan. So butangan na to dring gender for okay, CBO gender dot add item. So let's say we have male and then we have here female. Pwede po natin na siya ibutang sa array. No, like string gender equals let's say you have here. So that's how important OOP is kasi again, as I've said, you can work around with your codes. Okay? And there, instead of CBO gender.add item, you can actually bind string and the gender, and this will give us automatically the values of gender, male and female from the array object. So let's say we have here 102, and then let's have here Kyle, and then let's save, and then let's go to our text file right here, and then let's refresh. So as you can see, you have the pet record with 102 Kyle male. So that's it. No, it's just a matter of to what they call this one. I'm showing you to uh, calling the default constructor plus the parameterized constructor. Yeah, so I haven't asked you a question so far. Anything, any question before I'll proceed? My question? Hello? How's your sleeping? Hi, guys.
Sir, apa sir ay?
Napa di ay. Okay. Sige. Now, let's proceed. Pero this time, this is not what we are going to do. Kasi, although okay ni siya, pero, okay, bisayaw na ako para mas ma-express na ako tarong. Kani siya, okay ni siya na idea na every time mag add tag record, store na to siya directly sa text file. Pero ang problem with this one is daghan kay buhaton imong program. So by the virtue of data structures in algorithm, dapat make your program efficient in terms of processing the data. Okay lang kung ang data nimo na gina-store gamay lang, like kanina lang siya kag gamay na program. Or what if daghan na kay siya ginabuhat. So ang mahitabo man gud ani is you have this like every time mag-add kag record ma-store dito sa text file, let's say sa pet records ba or sa pet. Okay? And then after that, syempre kung usa tong na-store nimo sa text file nimo sa record, dapat mas butang pud to sa imuhang table right away, no? Right after. So, of course, the best way to do that is maghimo ta og you will need to create a function that does that for reading record. So, sige, try na to, ha? Pero, i-convert nato to ni siya into parang mas ma-efficient siya gamay. No? Not efficient kayo, pero mas ma-efficient sa gamay. So, balik ta dito sa pet management system, and I'm going to continue all this right here. Okay, and then sa pay sunod ani. And there, so sunod type price. Okay, ako na ni kopyahon ba para ay sige, makita mo dai. Wait. Ako igamay ha para makita nako. So we have txt price dot get text. Ayan. And then /t we have txt sa sunod price breed Sige lang, mag-stop lang sa ako ning price of, diha lang sa ako mag-stop. So, meaning ka lang sa to i-record di na sa to record ang tanan. Because again, I'm not gonna be continuing this one. So, let's go back to database and then let's have here the, this time, tag display records. So, let's have display records. So, sa display records po, daghan kay pamaagi ani. Pwede ta mag-stream tokenizer, pwede ta mag-split. Tanaw na to unsay kaya nako kay kalimot ko sa split. And the only thing I can remember best is string tokenizer, pero try sa nako sa text file. So, right here, magputang ko og let's say default table model and for model. So, mag-display ko records sa ato ang table. Gikan sa kaning nabasa na record sa text file. Okay? So, to do that, of course, we'll need to read the file. I mean, gamito nato ng scanner o reader. So, since na siya na-declare dito, ato na siyang tawagon dira. So, actually, we can use scanner. Pwede nimo siya ibutang reader, read, sa ba to ako? F-read ay. So, F-reader. So, F-reader equals new file reader. And then, of course, the name of the file. Let's say the name of the file is my file. Okay. And then, you can have here read for the scanner equals new scanner. So, instead of sa system.in, you will have from F-reader. So, F-reader. By the way, di ba pwede man nato ni i-bind together na lang sa read is equal to new scanner new file reader. Di ba pwede nato siya inanion file reader. Though, syempre, kung inanion nato, nawala ang essence sa F-reader. So, mas okay kung, kamo bala, it's up to you, either this one or this one. Any will do, actually. So, this time, we're going to have loops here. And then, so let's have here while. So let's assume lang ha na natay record remark, then mail, and then 12, and then Ascal, and then dog, dog pa I know dog, let's say I'm a dog, and then Ascal, and then type, and then breed is, tama na dahil, and then price is 8,900, something like that. And then let's have another one. This is 102. This is like 3, then female. And then let's have here 14. Let's have here cat. Let's have here Persian. Okay. And then let's have here this 5,000 thing. Okay, so this is what we are going to display in our table. So from here, let's count muna pila 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 column. So let's read muna. Let me try. Okay, let me try. Please bear with me. Let me try the split. Kasi mas dali ni siya kaysa sa katong string tokenizer. But sige, allow me to muna. So I'll create a record here. So public string, let's say read records. So this is like reading records from a file. So I'm going to do this the same right here. Only that, tama dahil mag-try and catch sa ako. And then, tanga ko siya dire. And then, I'll have error signature here so that I would know kung unsa na siya na read, let's say, read records. Ang error na part. Okay? So, kaning error signature, this is one of the things I do para mas dali na ako experience-wise, mga strategy or techniques na ako ni para mas dali na ako ma-capture as sa dapit ang error na part sa akong program. So, let's say I have here hold na lang. Okay? So, of course, I'll do here string hold. Okay? Or I don't know if what you guys want to. So, pwede mo data. Okay, data. And here, you just have to have loops here. So, ato lang, pwede na nato ni siya iisa dire, pero ilahit na lang nato. Okay. So, you have here while, let's say, read that has next line lang ta. Okay, has next line. And let's have here the data plus equals to read that next. Okay, there, and then backslash enter every record. So i-return na to mo na tong i-read dire. So let's say we have here using a split. So let's say data split na to siya with, let's say, read records that, let's say, split, and then by space. Okay, we can use split if you guys want to, like, naamoy delimiter to na anything or kanang sige lang, pakita na ako sa inyo later on, but you can, pwede na mo walay split for now, or you can go directly with reading of records. So mas dali na siya i-read ang records with that. And then right after is Teresata. Okay, unya na lang na. We'll need a vector here. So we'll have vector. Okay, so vector, let's say sa row. Okay. Okay. And then so kopyahan sa nato ni unya na lang din nato na gamiton sila. Kani sa ato ang ibasihan sa kaning display records. Unya na lang din na kung gamiton din nato na siya pang natay delimiters sa kanata mag-split. But for now, let's do this. Let's say data. So you have here, pwede mo magbutang og every data i-store ninyo sa isa ka file, pero pwede ta mag-loop na lang para mas dali. Or like, pwede ko mo mag-inani, like string ID is equal to read that next. So meaning per record, basahon ninyo siya, and then name na pod read that next. So pero mas dali siya kung mag-loop na lang ta. And with the loop kasi is the good about loop is store sa, it's after nato siya, every time na siya mabasa, store nato siya sa vector. Okay? Or every time na mag-read niya ni sa to ang text file, next line 101, mark ka ni ma-store niya siya sa vector. Okay? So pag store na niya sa vector, asa na to? Data store sa vector. So 7 man to. So let's have here int let's say I is equal to 0, and then we have I is less than. So we can use model to get the column count para kung sa pila to ang column niya, automatic basta magdungag pa ta dire, automatic yang column is mag-base po siya, dili ta sige dili static yang value na kita mag-change sa atong program. Okay? So hello guys, klaro pa akong boses?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Sige, now. Asa ta medyo task to kay dugay jud ita mahuman ani no. Bilang agwan pa lang sa mo ha, kaya ta magkaaminaw.
Ayaw, sir.
Okay, good. Sige. All right, now after that one, I plus ta, and then and then row that i-add na to siya every ma-read niya na value. Okay? And then every time read mas store na niya dila, ibutang na to siya sa atong model that add row. So mo ning giingon ako sa inyo na mas gwapo kung default table model atong gametson atong gamiton because mas dali siya mag-store og records sa table. Kung wala tayong default table model, medyo lisod siya. Dali, I mean, kaya ra, pero two-dimensional array imong gamiton manggod. So, kung mag two-dimensional array, tapos mas lisod. Actually, kung kabalo lang jud tag two-dimensional array, mas dali. Pero medyo complicated siya kaysa sa vector manggod siya. Okay? Mas dali gud siya kung, I mean short, mas dali kung vector atong gamiton. Plus table, default table model. So, i-erase na lang sa ako ning, I'm gonna erase this one kasi again, pwede naman siya wala, no? Like, gipakita lang man ako ni sa inyo na this will do for, ayan, okay? So, I mean, if we're going to, yan, there, no? And then, wala pa dahi tay column, di na ito ma-display. Sige, yan na lang natin na-display column. So, kung napansin niyo wala na siya yung record once we run the program. So, because we expect na gikan ang record dire. So, that's what we do now. Let's go to database and model.add row, and then let's go to here. And then, from here, this is what we are going to do. So, let's just call the model, I mean, display records, db dot display records, and then ipasa na to si tbl model pet. So, okay, so let's try. Let's, dapat, katong records sa to ang text file must be ma-display dito sa to ang, unsa ni? It seems like na any problem. Wait for a while. Balik sa kwa. We have here. Get column. Okay, because we don't have column yet, no? So, wala mangud ko nag-set pa og column. Pero i-set sa nato na ang column nato is 7. Kaya to siya tawag na, nagka-infinite loop to siya actually. Okay. So, matong wala ni display. So, error 101 store to file. So, I guess there's store to file daw ang error. So, asa man. Actually, dirito ang error. Let's say 103 display records. Okay. So, mauni akong ginaingon na error signature. So, dapat i-edit yun ninyo yung error signature. So, ang error signature nako is display records. So, display records, see? So, na-error dito sa ito ang kani. O, dito mag-focus. So, ang isa sa mga error diri is kanang wa nimo na close imuhang imong file. Okay? Or flash, no? Flash para memory, mawala tong mga memory. Okay, wait, read that flash. Oh. Ay, okay. Dili lang to ang flash di ay sa kani flash. Okay? Pwede flash diri, pwede. Flash means i-free up niya imong memory, imong RAM. Okay, anyway, so let's see kung okay na or working na ba itong program. So, right there, nag-error gyapon siya. Pero check nato sa naman so far dito. So, check nato diri kung na ba siya error. So, probably because of this one, I guess. So, let's say pet.text, meaning wala niya nabasa probably ang pet.text kasi pet record.text. Pet record lang siya, di wa siya .text. So, dapat pet record.text. Mo to ang isa sa reason. Pero if mali ko, okay, let's look for another. So, no such file or directory nakita. So, .text magawin nakabutang. So, dapat pet lang ni pet.text. Then, pag abot diri is, pwede na dito walay .text. Okay, kay pag-read diri is set that text, and then after display record, okay, so yan my file. So let's check now. So there's still error in the display records. So the best way to trace this is, okay, so i-read sa nato kung nabay nabasa si text file. So mag-system.out ta, read that next. Let's see kung naa siya nabasa, no? Otherwise, kung wala, meaning, ayun, na nabasa. Okay, so it seems like naatay nabasa 101, blah, blah, blah. So, kung in-next line nato ni, and then print line, so i-read niya per line, per record. So, ayan. So, dapat mo na ito ibutang sa tuang, table. So, now, what happened here is, sige, atong i-trace. So, maybe conflict sa mga objects na ako. Wait. Display na ako kung nabay nabasa si row dire. Okay. Check na to. Anyway, vector man yun, no? So, makita dayo na to kung nabay nabasa na row. Wala, Judy ay. Okay, so meaning to say, walay nabasa na row. Okay, so wala na add, row.add. How come wala nabasa? Wait. Supposed to be dapat mabasa niya si row. Okay, row. Dapat na i-record si row. Okay. Row get, try na ko get I. So row get I para makita na ko kung nabay value na nabasa si row. So naa siya. So naa siya, meaning na i-value atong row diri, but okay, but pag abot lang diri mawala siya. Okay? So let's say butang ko diri row that get, sige, try na ko 0. Dapat mabasa niya si 101, 102. So naa siya actually. So meaning to say, kung mag 101 get 1 ko, dapat mabasa po niya ang duha ka names. So Mart and Kyle. So na-adjuday siya. Okay. And balik ko. So row naara. Okay. Naadi ay anong wala to ganina. So the only thing na problem na to is how come wala siya na-adto sa tuang table. Alright. So with this, check na to balik. So far, napasa na ang model.add row pero wala lang siya na-display dire. Okay, so that's what we are trying to, we are going to solve here. So, display records model pet tbl records, and then okay, so maghimo sa tawag isa ka text file. Wait for a while. Mo ko columns.txt. Try na ko ipa i-read ning columns.txt. So I'll have here ID, name, gender, age, type, breed, and price. Okay? So ako ni siyang i-read from here, and then so db display records. So maghimo sa ako diri og isa ka column, reading of column. Wait, sige kanina lang. This is for set column. Okay. So, kung di niya mabasa ang record, so sa column sa ta mag-start. So, let's say set, let's say this is field. And then this will be from columns dot text. Okay. And I'm going to read the field. Okay, store na ako si, let's say this is a vector na lang. Vector column. Field na lang. Field. Okay. Remove this one. And then equals new vector. And then read that has next na lang. Yeah, sige, has next line kay basin tagduha ang value. Okay, next line. So field that add anong vector mo ni? So field that add is equal to read that next. Okay, and return field. Yeah. Okay, so f reader that close and read that close. All right, so I'll go back here and let's say this is model pet that set column identifiers, and I'll put here db that set columns. Okay, X na to. Okay, so there, na siya. Maulan to ang kulang niya. Wala ta nakaset og columns. Maunang ang model, table model na to walay columns. So, if that is the case, pwede ninyo siya like itanggalan sa ng error catch message, something kay nag-display siya error. I-resolve na nato na later on. Sa display records di ay ang error. Wait for a while. Asa naman to? Tiri di ay. So, tanggalan sa nato na ha. Okay. So, let's run this. Okay. So, there, nanatay. Record, nabasa from text file. So, this is from text file, ha. So, meaning to say, if you're going to add here any record, say 103, guong, male, dog, and then ag. Okay, and then let's run our program. This would give us 3 records from that file. Yan, there. Okay, so ma-display na nato ang records sa tuang table. This time, mag-store ta og record dito sa tuang text file. From here, no? Store na to and then mag-display siya. So, if that is the case, mao ni akong giingon sa inyo ha, if that is how you will actually do it, from here, no? Price, the text, and db.store to file. So, ang buhaton ni mo jud ani is you will need to parang you will need to call this store to file, and then after storing it, dapat I guess dapat naka-true ni imuhang database, like true, kasi kung every time mag-add ta, kung ano naka-true, mapulihan siya og new record. Okay, try na to ha. Okay, so I have here, let's say, 104. So, pwede na ito na parang say tawag na, incrementation later on. So, let's say miles, then female, and then age is, let's say, 14. So, wala pa tayo type, wala tayo breedcode. So, inalan sa nato na. then 7,000, and then save. So, check na to ang pet.text. So, mapulihan siya, di ba? So, yan, that's something na atong i-resolve. So, balikan sa nato tong value ni atong gender. Ayan, diri po ta sa type. So, string, type, sorry, type equals, so cat and dog lang sa ato ibutang. Pero pwede po nato ibutangan og unsay type niya nga text file nato, unsay i-read nato sa ato ang, actually we can always do that no sa program. Okay, and then for breed, so for now, Ascal and Captain. Okay, kana lang sa. And then let's put here the breed. So, ang resolution na would be i-true ni mo ning diri, no? Like true yun siya diri para madungagan siya every time mag-store kag file or record sa imuhang saning tanggalon. Okay, wait for a while. So 104 and then miles. Then female, age is 35, 35 dog. Then cat pin. Oh, sige, Ascal. Wala pa dahil siya ano no, sige, wala pa bind po na siya. So save. So dapat tabutag kag prompt kung gusto ka na siya. So ma-store siya dira. Okay? And then what day na appeal og store si wala na appeal. Okay, kana naman no. So katulad natong i-capture anyway. So ayan, and then after that, every time mag-add ta diri og record, atong buhaton ani is tawagon na pud nato si display records. So this is what you will do. Mag in ano na pud, instantiate na pud mo table pet is equal to new, tapos model pet ana. So medyo dugay siya. Okay, or mag-vector mo. So pinakadali natong buhaton is that mag-manipulate sa tawag records sa table, and then right after i-close ang program, saka store nato siya sa text file. Ano pinakadali nato na buhaton para dili kayo complicated atong program. So to do that, tanggalon nato ni siya, and then we don't store the records yet in our text file every time mag-save ka, but instead i-save sa niya dito sa table. So to do that, we are going to assign it to a vector. I guess natay vector ganina sa to. Wala di ay. So bigyan mo ko direct vector. So vector row equals new vector. Okay, or vector declaration lang para yan. And then right here, magputang ko direct vector or row man to na, no? Row is equal to new vector. Okay, and then i-add na ko diri si row dot. Okay, so add, so txt id dot get text. Okay, txt id dot get text. Saan naman ka get text? Ayun. Oops. Get text. So you will do the same for txt name. Okay, that get text. Sa ba? txt, sa pati sunod. CBO. CBO gender for sets get selected item. So selected item, and then for age, so txt age that get text, and then let's have here the breed, cbo breed that get selected item, and then let's also have here cbo, what is it, cbo type, CBO type that get selected item, and then we have una ang type, then breed, and then row that add txt price that get that text. Okay, so now this is what we are going to store na to ni siya sa atong table. So, which is, gamitin na to si model pet. So, model pet that add row. So, as simple as that, no? And then, we just add row. So, when we get to run the program, so let's say 104, let's say miles. So, female, age is 15, cat is a dog, ang type, and then Ascal, sige, and then 5,000, save. So, ma-store siya dira, okay? But, of course, obviously, dili siya ma-store sa text file. Okay? So, how is that possible, sir? I mean, di ba, same lang siya, sir. Oo, pero the good thing about this one kasi pag dili sa nato siya store sa text file is we only call the text file pag ready na ta or sure na ta kung unsay update sa tuang table. So at least mag-edit ka diri, mag-update ka, mag-delete ka unsay imong gusto buhaton dira, and then sa the moment you close your file, saka pa ma-store dapat ang text file. Saka pa ma-store tong update ang imuhang record na sa imong table dito sa imuhang text file. So that's what we are actually going to do. So to do that, so you will need to implement another one. So pwede na dili na ta sa close, sa tong close na to. Okay, dire pwede ta sa close na to. So make sure lang na ang imong user is mo gamit yung close, no? So else, mo tawag jud og close. I-click yun yung close. So if e.get source that equals to btn close. Kasi kung dili, okay, sobra. Kasi kung dili jud ma-save imuhang record. So dapat close siya. Ang pinaka the best nimong buhaton ana imuhang program kay tanggalan nimo siya og decoration, asa to. Like dire, okay? Imuhang anon is set undecorated man to. Yeah, undecorated to true. So para ang maklik yun sa user pag mag-close siya is ang close, which is system.exit to 0. So, like for an instance, i-run na to ni, and then, wala siya maklik lain, kundi close lang jud para ma-exit. Yan. So, and then, din na tamag buhat o kababalaghan. Okay? So, what I'm trying to mean is that, dire na nato tawagon tong records na nasa table, then store nato dito sa text file. So, to do that, we're actually going to create a loop. So, since 2 dimensions man ang table, so we'll have first the row is equal to 0. So, row is less than or equal to, let's say, model that get row count. And then, row plus plus. So, we also do it for column. So this time we'll use call to represent column. So we have call. This is call. Then let's have you get column count. Okay. And then, okay. So in here, itong butang the string, let's say records. So sa iyang nabasa, kaning records katong nabasa niya from your table. So kung sa itong nabasa na records from your table, iya hatong i-capture dire. So records plus equals to model pet that pet value. So meaning kwaon niya ang value niya from row column. Okay? And then let's say \t lang ato ang ato ang separator, and then records plus equals to \n. So what this will tell us? So before nato i-exit, before nato siya i-store sa text file, pakita na ko sa inyo unsay mahitabo ani sa program. So actually, kung ato ni siyang ipagawa sa ato ang sana, a new J text area. So kabalon mo ng J text area, ako maning gi-show ano sa inyo last time para mo ganang \t. This will not be stored to a text file yet, pero this is what will happen. Pag i-close na ko, ipakita na ko sa inyo kung sa pag-capture sa table. So, 104, let's say, Miles, save, and then, let's say, 105, Sarah, email, save. So, if i-click na kong close, mao ni ang gi-capture niya na info. Kani siya nga info, gikan ni siya sa text sa imuhang gikan to siya sa imuhang table. So again, if you run your program, mawala dito siya. Okay? The only thing na mag-display to siya, it's because you close your record. So, and then wala pa na siya na-store sa text file. So what is that will tell us. Again, inani ang nahitabuan na sa code. Dili biya day ni madrag-drag no kasi naka-indecorated. Anyway, this is what it does. So, i-assume mo ni column, then row ni siya. Ang may tabuan na is, if namoy idea, syempre namoy idea sa two-dimensional arrays. So, two-dimensional arrays would mean that kani siya, first row, column 0, first row, column 1, first row, column 2, first row, column 3, and so on and so forth. Sa kanina po, para mas kani siya row 0, column 0, basta kani column 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, kani, row 0 ni tanan siya. Okay, row 0, then column 1, 2, 3, 4. So, pag ko row 0, column 1, kaning 101. Row 0, column row 0, column 0, 101. Row 0, column 1, mark. Row 0, column 2, male. So on and so forth. Kanina po, row 1, column 0, 102. Row 1, column 1, K. Row 1, column 2, female. Pag kanina po, row 2, column 0, 103. Row 2, column 1, goong. So ang naitabuan na is that mao nang gi-read mo sa imuhang kaning loop no mo nang row then column ikwaon nimo tong value sa imong tables butang nimo siya sa records and then instead na i-display nato sa J option pane ibutang nato siya sa text file and this is by calling store to file and then as simple as that and you can do this to any UI you can any UI na imong iset. So again, ang store to file is store to niyang records na nabasa nga gi-display na ko ganina sa G option pane to here. So after that, when we run the program by then wait lang kay wala pa di ay wala ko ayan nakanana di ay \n. So sige. Oops, wait lang jud di ay. Tama. Okay. Basin. So, run again. 104. Mia. Okay. And then price. Save. Ayan. Na-store na dito. So, na-store na diyan siya. Nagbalik-balik na. Kasi naka-true. Okay. Tanggalan sa natong true, guys. So, let's remove the true sa database na true dahil nato ni yun. Tama di ay, no? Let's remove true. Pag true kasi, means i-append or concatenate nimo. Concatenate. Okay? So, yeah. So, let's go back here and then okay. So, 104 Mia and then female then dog kapin sa bahala na wala man ko nakabind so 105 na pud ta and then bigong male so 45 and then cat and then 5,000 sorry 5,000 and then save so pag click nimo sa close ma-store na to siya sa imong text file there. Okay? So, atong buhaton na lang karon is kung mag-update ta o mag-delete ta sa record. Okay? So, obviously, kay kung gusto ninyo na after every time mag-record ta, ibutang, wait lang, ano man eh, stop sa nato ni. Let's go back here. Okay. Ang ano na lang nato ani is if mag-edit, mag-update ta, I mean, every time mag-add kag record, i-clear lang to nimo siya. Dali lang man na siya, tawagon na lang ninyo ni siyang, let's say, txtid happen. Run. Oh, txt name. Oh, ada yang name gender breed. Ayun. So, di na lagi niya matawag. Anyway, txtid dot text set text. What happened? Why I cannot call this one? Ita save man din, no? So dili na lang txt id. Hala, what happened? Anyway, I'll just at set text. Oh, naman lagi. Ganina wala. So, pwede nyo i-clear, ana. Okay. Or txt name that set text, ana lang. Para mag-clear siya. Okay. Pwede niyo siya actually, pwede nato niyo siya i-function or i-method. Butang na nato na siya function. Public void set default. Ano lang. Kaya nato siya ibutang. Okay, and then right after that, set text, set name, cbo gender, that set selected index. So first index 0, and then let's do for age. For age kay buta na to 0 ang iyang initial, and then cbo type. Okay, and then for cbo breed, and then for txt price that set text equals something like 0.0. Ayan. So, right after mag-store ka, pwede mo tatawagon set default. Yan, set default. So, now, ang atong next button is pag-edit na og update. And then, after that, mana. Okay? So, for edit update. For edit update, ito na ning kopyahon. Anin kani, pwede na ning kopyahon na to. Then, else if, enter. So this is for btn update. Okay, and then let's have another one, btn though dili recommended mag-delete, pero i-apply na natong delete. Okay, and then of course kung dapat makabalo taon sa atong i-update, unsa atong i-delete na value. So example I'm just going to show you na pag-click na ko ani, mo ni akong pag-click na ko ni K, si K ang ma-delete, ma-update. Okay? Not other else. So, mo na itong buhaton ron. So, to do that, dapat na sa tay, napay isa ka listener na mouse click. Okay? So, mouse listener. Ayan. Okay? I-inherit nimo tong mga methods. So daghang methods na inherit nimo dra, pero the only thing that we'll need here is kanilang si mouse click. So, pwede na niwala ang uban. Pero dili nimo ni pwede i-delete ha or i-remove kasi abstract methods ni siya sa OOP. Importante na kabalo mo abstract methods. So, mga abstract methods, wala na siya definition na siya or prototype lang sa method, but you will be the one to put an action for it or parang algorithm or instruction. So again, the only thing that we need here is the mouse click. This is when the user uh, click. Hello guys. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Madunggan pa ko?
Yes, sir.
Madunggan
Yes,
ko?
sir. Dunggan mo, sir.
Okay, sige. Yes po. Saan? Sige, hapit na, paspasan ako. So, if, di na, paspasan na ako. So, if E, kaya alas 4 na. So, if E dot get source dot, okay, equals model, try na to sa PBL pet, okay, and then, int I is equal to E dot get selected row. Okay. Off. Get. Oops. TBL. Model lang. So, model pet that get selected row. Asa naman to? Nabay get selected row? Si table di ay ang atong kailangan i-call. So, TBL pet that get selected row. So, kung ano itong selected row, try na nato kung mugana nini siya. Show message. So, i-try sa nato kung if it works. Kasi kung dili, kailangan nato usbon. So, dapat pag-click sa table, kay naay mo gawas na get selected row. But, syempre, kailangan nato i-butang action listener si table. So, TBL pet that add mouse listener this. Okay? So, let's run the program muna and then let's click or let's check kung makapture ba niya. So, there. So, kuha niya ang this is index 0. So, kung i-click na ko ni index 0 na siya. Index 1. Yan. And index 2. Index 3. And then, kana siya kung ano to ng mga columns by, okay. So, this is what we do. Since it works, tanggalon na nato ni, di na nato na need or di na nato ni, di na siya necessary. So, this time, from there, txt id that set text, okay, and then this will be coming from the table. So, model or tbl pet that get value at, okay, and then let's have here the I and then the column 0. So meaning first column, second, first row column 0. So is i-type, wait. I-type cast na to siya into string para dawaton siya. So let's have here set name. So for set name naman, same row but this time first column. So i-check sa nato if this one will work. So, the moment na mag-click ko sa ako ang kani, so display siya dito. So, magpuli-puli siya, as you can see, para kabalutan na i-edit nato na siya or kana ang ma-edit. Okay? So, muna to ang basis, no? And then, pwede nato ni siya is, si txtid that set enabled or editable to false. Yan. Para dili siya ma-edit. No? Okay. And then we'll do the same for the age and age and for price. Okay, price. This is i-try na to ha if this will work sa ganito. Wait lang. I-try na to if this will work para Kaya dili ka sure sa iyang index base ba na 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pwede nimo try na to kung name, gender. I-try na to if this will work. Let's say ID and then name. Dili siya. So, dapat kabalo jud ka unsay pasunod imuhang unsa na. So, this time imong anon is get value I tapos 1. This for name. And then for CBO, so CBO gender, okay, CBO gender, CBO gender dot set selected item, okay, and then copy ho na to ni siya. And then this is like 2, okay, and then we'll do the same for, so age is 3. And then after age kay katong breed and type. So this is CBO type and this is for breed. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Dapat this one is 4, this one is 5, and this will be like 6. Okay, so let's check kung mugana na ba siya to ang every time mag-click ta. So 101, okay. So nausab-usab na siya. Okay. So now dili na ni siya ano ang ID, so dili na pwede nimo ma-edit, no? So that's something na dili na to i-allow for the user na ma-edit niya ang record. So ma-edit lang ni dire kanilang mga name, yang male, yang gender, yang na. So para ma-edit nato na siya kay okay naman adto ta sa update. Okay, BTN update. So right here, we'll need to store or ano na to ang table. So dapat kuhaon na pod nato dire si atong selected row and then tbl set value. So meaning set value at napunta. Suppose asa gikan ang value. So txt id. Okay, di na to kailangan i-ano ang id kay dito sa txt name. That okay, txt name that get text. Yan. So, actually, pwede din natin i-loop. Wait ha, para mas dali. Pwede natin i-loop. Asa to kung row dire. Yan, kani. Pwede, try na to kung ma-loop na to siya. So, right here, tapos row. Oops. Di na to sige o kapoy naman sige ano. Try sa na to. If this, sorry, na-appeal na noon eh. Dili na-appeal. Kanilang sa dire. Row.add. Okay, and then dire. Na. Wait. Row.add txt baliktad. Wait ha. txt id tpl id try sa na to. Row.add nita yung paraan para mas madali. Wait for a while. Hindi siya i-loop pero sige lang. Balik na sa tabire para di na unta ta mag-isa-isa o get value at i-loop na lang unta nato. But sige na lang. Anyway, this is like column 1 kasi dili ta mag-start with name, ID, mag-start ta with name. So after that, this is 2 This is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. Kasi di ba ang pattern niya is pwede siya loop o 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So pwede siya i-loop. Pero sige lang, may tato nagpamahagi yun niya. This is for CPO gender. Okay, CPO gender that get excuse me. Get selected item. Okay. Ay, dapat set selected item. Yes, get selected item. And then for txt age, for CPO breed, get selected item po siya. So, and then for oops, type day una, no? So, type. Okay, this is type. And this is txt price. Okay, so, actually, okay na ni siya. Try na to. So, let's say si Guong, butang na to siya, like, kuhin mo ni siyang isko. And then, this is cat. And then, cat pin, blah, 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 save. So, anong save? Akong ibutang dapat. Sorry, wait for a while, na-store na noon si isko. Wait. Dapat edit. Okay, dapat i-appeal na to si naman itong mouse click. I-appeal na to dili si btn save para dili siya maklik that set enabled to false para di siya maklik, no? Mao to ang problem kay maklik na to si save. Anyway, so pag click na ko, di na maklik si save. So digong, let's say row D, and then 89 dog, and then let's say 8,000, and then update. So there, nahimo ng si Rodi, tanaw to si Mia. So Mia Khalifa. Update, so Mia Khalifa. Pag close na to ani, dapat dito si Mia Khalifa is already there, and then si Rodi na-edit po siya. Okay? So, there, no? Mag-add ka, mag-edit, mag-delete. Actually, all the same sila tanan. I mean, inato na siya because we took advantage of katong vector something na sa table na ta mag-edit and the next mag-close na ta, saka na nato siya i-delete. So actually, there's more I would like to do for this one, but I cannot hold you more of your time kay basin anyway, this one for deleting na lang. I'm just going to share to you. So this we have here, get delete, okay, remove row. So this one is for removing row naman. So example, if i-remove mo siya, so remove, then delete, so ma-remove na to siya. Then pag ato nimo sa imong record, wala na si Digong. Okay, one more. Okay, one more akong itudlo. The only thing that is ang problem ani is this ba ganina nagmiya Khalifa ta. And then did you know that if naatay tagduha-duha ang file or record dira, so kung napansin ninyo, nawala na si Price. Tapos si Mia, name, ang gender niya Khalifa. So, mao ni ang dapat inyong tan-awon or dapat ma-worry ta because dapat pili siya in ana. Okay? So, with that, kailangan nato siya i-convert into natay filing na ang naa diri dapat ma-store is ID limiter na gamiton ato. So, meaning to say, when we record this to our file, ato tabalik sa kanina part here, instead na /t atong gamiton, you can choose any character na di nyo magamit. Let's say, gamiton na to kay hashtag or sharp. So, meaning to say, every time mag-record tag file here, na siya hashtag dire. Okay? So, mao na tong buhaton. So, wait for a while. I-clear na to ang pet and then mag-store tag bagong record. So let's say 101, okay, Mart, and then age, and then dog. Yan. Then save. So it looks like na-clear man, no? Sa bagay. So 102, Anna, so female, 30, blah, blah, blah. And then 8,900 save. So, if i-close na to ni siya, yan. So, inana na siya. So, at least, kung mag-store ka og mag-store ka og record, so 103, and then may kag, let's say, Mart Zel Baste. Okay? So, akong name should be treated as one single record. Dili siya i-treat as Marcel for name and then gender for baste. Kasi naakay inana ang idea sa what happened? Inana ang idea sa nawala siya. Wait lang. Okay, wait lang. You have here, let's say 103. Oh, nawa jud eh. Okay, tama. Wala pa tay-tay. Nawala siya. It's because, tama di, no? Kay nawala man tayo sa atong table. So, actually, mawala na siya dra. So, kasi wala tag, na-read siya actually, but ato ang delimiter magud is nagulat siya og as parang backslash T or space. So, kailangan to i-edit ato ang record here. And then, by the way, kani i-change na nato ni siya to model.get what is that? Model.get column count. What happened? Hindi mo gana. Yan. Anyway, then nalagi manggana niya ako IntelliSense. Then, balik ta diri sa katong read records nato. Okay? So, right here, gamiton na to ang split na kung giingon last time. Okay? So, dire, let's have the data, okay, is equal to read record that split tapos with using this one. So meaning split na to per record every time na siya mabasa diri na sharp 101 Mart. So let's say Mart Baste Hannah Kendrick. So kani sila na record is matreat siya as one single record lang as per name na column. Dili siya as kasi kung wala tay separator, we call this as kung kamay nyo gamiton, that is CSV. Kung familiar mo na magamit yun ninyo ni siya puhon sa inyo ang kanina knowledge sa inyo ang mga kanang comma separated value or character separated value. But for now, sige, if I would understand if delete nyo masabtan, but that is how you actually do it, meaning every after kanisya is ma-separate nimo ang record by that. Okay? Para mo sakto siya, kanisya sa kanina column, because natay klaro na separator. So, let's go back here and right here, what we're going to do with this one is pwede na ta dili mag F reader here. I mean, yeah, pwede na ako itanggalon, but again, this is just an option for you, no? So, kasi nakita man nyo ang problem kanina, di ba? So, instead of atong gamiton is inana, let's have it here as another, kaya nato sa baba ibutang. Okay. So, imong buhaton is mag-loop na lang ka with like int I is equal to 0, I is less than, let's say, pwede ka mag-anog record count ni mo dire, pero sige lang, 7 na lang atong ibutang. Wala naman tayo function nga record count. Pero, kay 7 means equivalent sa columns, no? Pwede unta nato. Pwede gyapon ta maghimo og I mean, it's up to you. Pwede ka maghimo og pila ka column imuhang saan ni? Actually, pwede ka maghimo dire og public void column counts. Oo. So, tapos mag-base lang ta diri sa default table model na to. Pwede lang po siya ani diretso, no? And then, int na lang nato ni int. Tapos return model that get column count. As simple as that, no? Para, mo na may butang dire. Column counts. Wait. Sige. Wait. Column counts and then sige, void ayaw na lang, sige, 7 na lang. Kaya magpasa pa taog column counts, dito na lang sa nato dre. 7, kailangan, the good thing about it is, maano dyan mo siya, may bala mo pilay value sa imong column. Actually, kung gusto ka, inaani na lang di ay. Okay, like, int, column counts, o pwede na inaani na lang, then, dire, butang nimo si columns. Nabataan ni kanina. Columns, sa tumurag natay file ani. Sa set columns na ito. So, columns na text. Tapos, yan lang. I-count lang nimo siya instead of int count equals 0. And then, read that next and then or next line. So, next line na lang gamita dire. And then, count plus plus. So, return count. And then, right here, column counts. Ayan. You have here I++, and then, so, data I, so, ipakita sana ako sa inyo hakog na ba yun na-capture, na-split ba? Hindi ba mabasa o appeal ang okay, kung dili ato na siya split, of course, ang mabasa ato kaning exact the same unsa ni siya diri na with with sharp. Pero with the split, hopefully no with the split kung tama akong pagka-implement ay mawala tong idea of mawala ang idea of sige, wait lang. Print line naman din na. So mawala ang idea of what you call this one? Ma-read niya ang, ayan, so kanio, yan. So, nabasa niya ang imuhang record pero without sharp na. So, ready na ni siya ibutang nato sa, dito sa tuang table. So, and the only way, and of course, to do that, asa man tong vector nato, anong naman ko sa set columns nagbutang, wait for a while. Dapat, mali di ay ko gibutangan class. Sorry ha. So dapat dili na dire. Dapat diri ko sa display records. So I'll need to remove this one here. And then, so ayan, kamo bala o if i-follow niyo na or if you do this. Okay? And then right here, the only thing I'll need here is the row kaning vector. Okay? And then, tapos, I have here row that add. Okay? And then, data I. Okay, so this is because equals new vector. Sa may kulang na to ani. Ang kulang na to today would be pila ang counting niya, pila ka record kasi ang pila ka row, ang lang ani is pila ka column. So kailangan nako makibalan ang row count. So, na ba ko yung row count? Wait. Column counts. Wala ko yung row counts. So, okay, wala ko yung row counts. I'll need to, ay, ayun, kani. Pwede na ko ni siya kuhaan og value. Let's say, sige, maghimo na lang kung kani pinadali na lang ni int row count equal 0. And then, read records. O sige, I'll have another one na lang. Hindi na lang ko. Separate na lang. Sige, dito sa column counts, row counts. So, int row counts, and int row count. Row or counter na lang. Counter 0, and this will be next line. Ayan, next. And then row, counter, plus. And then we have here, counter. And then after that, mo kung isa ka function diri na, wait for a while. Wait. Na-confuse ko gamay. Wait ha. So I'll need to make this row equals new vector. Check sana ako kung okay siya. And then I'll have here the gamito na lang akong row. Ay, row naman pula, no? Val na lang ni. Val. And, okay, X na lang para dali X. Okay, and this is X. And this is X. Okay, and this should be row counts. Naman ko row counts. Naman to kung himo. Row counts. There. Okay. Di na mag-intelligence akong. Okay. Then, I++, blah, 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 row. Then, check sana ako kung gana ba siya. So, we have here, this is data X, and then with space, and then right here, magbutang ko \n. So, i-check sana kung mabasa ba niya. Okay. 101 Mart. So, ayun. Mauna akong i-capture 101 Mart. Mart baste, blah, blah, blah. So, yan. Mauna ito ang i-capture. So, this time, i-add na nato karon si, wait. Row dot add data data X, and then after that row model dot add row, and then dapat row. Check nato sa diri kung na ba yun. Okay, so dapat butang na to sa text file, sa table ang record sa database. So there, kaya lang nagbalik-balik. So mo ni atong i-resolve na pod karon nga nagbalik-balik siya. Wait. Balik sa ako. Then we have row split row counts. Okay, vector. Okay, wait ha. Nganong balik-balik siya? Okay, dili sana ako i-send. Dili na sana ako ibutang sa row. Sa row, yan. 101 Mart Paste. Ayan. So, naa siya, na-capture niya, pero balik-balik si 101 Mart. Okay. Sige. Balik sa ako sa read records. Asa to ang read records? Where is my read records? Yun. Data plus display sa akong data drive. Kung tama ba yung na-capture, okay? Kay basin isa lang ka record iyang na system.out.println data. So wait for a while. So ayun, okay. Asa naman to? Display records. Unya na ako ni tawagon. Wait for a while. So, akwasan ni siyang tawagon from here. I-display na ako sa G-option pane kung tama ba ang nabasa. Okay? Para I would know, proceed ko sa pag new JText area. And then I have here read records. Oops. Read records lang. Read records. Yan. And so 101 Mart Baste. So na-adyo siya space. What happened? Ano na siya space? Read that has next. And then read that next. Okay, ayun eh. Set asa tong read records na ko. Dara. Has next line data plus what happened here. So has next line i-read niya per data. I'll need to, I guess, wait, remove down natin. And then this is like has next na lang and then this will be next line. So check sa nato. Yun, dapat ana. Okay, so yun, medyo tama na siya. So, balik ta dire and then I'll have here, wait, para sure jud ko, I'll put here \n. Okay, so dapat, ayun. So, kaya lang, anong balik-balik anyway? Let's remove it here. And where is my display record? So, and then, yan. Saan ako? Ayan, so na-capture na nako siya with that. And then, pag display na pod, ano ni? Something is not right. Okay ang pag-read sa records. However, pag split, wait lang. Ako siya, Yun. Wait for a while Read records. Okay, na-capture niya 101 and 102. However, pag abot sa split kay isa na lang. What happened? Data that data 0. Wait. Data 0. Data 1. 101 Mart Baste. Okay, tama siya. Then, data 2. So, data 2 should be like male, gender niya. So, let's run. Male, okay, tama siya. So, balik sa ko dre 1, 2, data 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, dapat pagka data 8, asa naman to? So, data 8, data 9 is dapat itong next na value. Next. Yun. So, tama. And what seems to be the problem? Why it's not working? Wait, int I is equal to 0, I is less than 7, or model that get column count I plus, all right, and then row that add to data I. Okay. One more, just wait for a while, class, That.
Okay, sir.
Yes po. So, medyo nagka-problem lang ko with the split. So, muna kung gingon sa inyo, may panag-string tokenizer ko. Anyway, sige, happy na ma-resolve lang lagi ni. Add row, wait lang, model. Row. System that out that row. Okay, wait lang, Jod. Last one more na lang. One more deep day. Depende sa until ma-resolve na to ni. 7. Okay, read. So far, actually okay siya, no? Okay ang pag-trace na to. Dere, okay man siya. Dere lang jud siya na part sa dere lang jud siya na part somewhere dire. Ang dili na niya ma-capture. But gi-individualize na ko ang data. Actually na-read man siya. And Nara siya problem with model dot add row and then row or row. So 23222 lang. Okay. So this is the time now na mawala na to dire. So I'll have here another pila to record count. Record asa na to? Column row counts di ay. Read records. Back check. Okay. Nganong balik-balik si 101 kanina lang jud class. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. How do I do this? Kasi dapat dili siya 7. Dapat mag-base sa kung wait. Dili na lang ako split. Murag kaninguro siya. Wait ha. Para ma-capture na ko siya. I need to like data split then first row. And after that 7. Tama ba? First niya ma-read is katong 7 records. Next is next record. So, dapat in-ani siya ang mabasa. Okay, so okay, I'll need to remove this one first. Data data. Read record split. Wait. Si tinamban ka ay kung inani akong buhaton eh. Like 15 ha. 7, 14. Kung inaani siya muganan eh. Kasi pero tinamban, wait lang ha. Tinamban kaayo. Di jud. Wait ha. Model row data I model data. Pila day value ni wait ha. I-read sa naming row count sa class. Pag something is wrong, lagi. Dili ko mo man kung madini mahuman. Row count. One more na lang. Dili day. Basaw sa akong row counts kung tuha lang bang nabasa ni or pila. Kasi basin kani ang ka-problem. 8. Okay. Kadto di ay. Sige, now that I know na ang row counts nako kay 8 ang gibasa, so mao tong ibalik-balik niya si wait. The only thing that I will do now is di na ko magsalig aning row count. So balik na lang ko. With this, reader lang gihapon ko pero murag dapat dili unta, pero sige lang. This one here and sige, data equals read records that split this one. Okay, and while read that has next line. Then I'll have here for loop. Int I is equal to 0. May pala ako i-erase ganina. I is less than 7. And then I plus plus. Okay, and then I'll display here muna the data I. Okay. So, tangan ako siya o backslash T. Backslash ayan. Then sys-o. Okay. Dapat ang display should be or walay sulod. Ayun, to radyo na pulihan na. Balik sa ako. So, file, reader, my file. And then, okay, and then read that. Next. Ay, wala ko i-close the iClass, sorry. Read that close as well as freader that close. Ayan, careful mo katong pag walay close, dapat na siya close. Then, what Japon? What happened? Or walay nabasa? Jod. Walay nabasa si or walay sulod. Ayun, napamali ay. What happened? Yung hindi niya basahon eh. String tokenizer na lang taklas. Mas dali pa. Sige, anyway. Na naman tayo read record. So, I'll need to read this one. So, string tokenizer. Str token equals new string. Mas dali pa ni. Tapos, read records. Okay, and then str token. that has elements or has token. Ipa-diretso na lang ko ani kanina. And then, where's my vector? There. So, okay, now, this one. And then, yeah, okay. And then, model that add row that add that str token. Str token. This is has next token. Next element. Next element or next token? Next token na lang. Sige, let's check on this. O, kanina lang. Mas dali pa, no? Nagano, nagdugay-dugay pa ta sa split-split. Anyway, okay man sa split. Kaya lang na-highlight part na dili niya na ma-read. Okay na ito siya working. Kaya lang ibalik-balik niya ni nga file. Oh, 101, 101. Ito ang medyo na-miss na ako. I don't know what happened. Or medyo na ako'y na-miss. Na ako'y na wala na-implement or something. So, yan. Isa ka, okay na ito ang kanina lang, no? Inaan lang ba? String tokenizer, mas dali pa noon. So, anyway, there. So, if I'm going to change this Kyle, let's say Kyle start. So, update. And then I have Miles. Let's say Miles Spider. So, update. Ayan. So, atong mga value na siya, Miles, blah, blah, blah. So, i-close na to na siya. Yan. Mas-store na siya dito as, yan, nainahan na. Okay? So, dugay-dugay pa ko. May pa-string tokenizer na ako siya kanina. Anyway, that is the idea of string tokenizer. The same siya actually sa split, but I don't know what happened nga nung split akong gipili kanina, but I could do it like better in string tokenizer. Pata nagdugay noon. Anyway, question so far. Do you guys have questions? Wala. O sige, katong mga mali na ako kanina, ano lang to nyo, ipadayon to if ever makuha nyo split, and then if possible, skip na lang to ninyo na part, and then ito na lang mo sa katong string tokenizer dito. So this is a parang sample of this one. As you can see na, I like kaniha, wait, have here pet registration form. Is this where my main is? Check sana ako. Panel, my frame, I guess. Kalimot na ko. Not this one. Main program. Ayan. So, I'm gonna show you. This one is actually the entire, wait. Ayan. So, this is what this program is all about. So, you will see here, kani siya mga other few UIs. As you can see, kani siya lahi ni siya ng mga classes pero merge na ko together as one. And that's the good thing about this one is because it's flexible. Again, flexible enough siya na what I'm trying to do here is gitawag na ko siya anytime or anywhere sa ako ang program. So, actually, if you come to think about it or look at it, this is the entire class. So, start with the vector, dire. Kani siya na part is because na siya sa panel info na Mango or pet registration form. This one here. Ayan eh. Na may part ito na gender, month. So, nagkuha ko value dito from month na January, blah, blah, blah. And then, store na ko siya dito. Then, separate na ko siya, naka-vector. So, tanan, gender, month, day, and year, naka-vector na siya. And then, start with, then the database as well is actually the same with what we did. So, almost the same. Only that, na siya field to combo box. So kung mapansin mo field to combo box, this is used for the breed the text. So kung unsa tong values sa breed nimo, let's say magdungag ko diri mga values, tangko diri og uh, let's say Python. Yan, magpatawag Python, assuming na butawag Python, and then sa breed pod kay as a type magbutang pod ko diri og let's say snake, ana naman snake, yan Python na snake. So every time mag-run ko sa akong program, madungag to si Python o madungag to si Python as a breed. So dili lang. Anyway, wala ni na plaster tarong, but as you can see here, nadungag si Python dala. Okay? So that's the good thing about having a parang text files na nakalahi ang column, nakalahi ang row. So sige, i-ano na ko siya one by one. I-run through lang na ko siya. And then sa database, the same. So that's the use of field combo box. So the rest, record count, kani siya is found. This is for if mag-username and password ka. Kasi naatay account.txt dire. So meaning this only this user and password username or kanina account lang ang makalagin sa atong file ay sa atong database or sa atong ginahimo na program. Okay? So yan, kaning database is encapsulated class ni siya, and then any method na magtawag nyo diri pwede niyo ni siya tawagon, ihatag na ko ni sa inyo, and at the same time you can create your own. And then sa listener, this is also this is where all the listener, para limpyo siya ang actions na adritanan. This is a class na nag-implement og mga listeners. So tanan listeners na adiri. So para sa imuhang main program wala na kay mga listeners. So tanawa class, medyo kung mapansin niyo, balikan na to na login. Sa main program we don't have any listener. Okay? And then mao lang ni atong main program. As in maulan jud ni siya ang nakita sa main program. Okay? And then gitawag lang nato tong mga components na naka-tab, naka-menu. So and then with kani siya gi-encapsulate po naton in my frame. It's up to you kung inyo ning gamiton or what. Again, naka-separate siya. This is for the menu. Kato makita niyo ganina na naka-drop down in naka-menu. So separate po siya. And then sa tabs, mao ni siya ang tabs lang. Kung napansin niyo ganina pag run sa program na ako yung tabs nagipang click. And then for images na po siya naka-ano na images. So medyo masabtanan niyo ni siya because I have shown you the ways on how to actually separate your classes. And then for toolbars, ayan. Katong toolbars, katong makita nimo ng mga objects dira. And then kani mga panels, mo ni sa panel birth date, para sa birth date lang. Then I have also separate panel for my buttons. Then kung mapansin niyo akong panel dire, puro lang na siya buttons, puro lang buttons. It doesn't have any action listener because the listeners are all there in the listener class. So I have here panel search, panel info. So the same, yan. And then panel table also separate, and registration form and type. If mag-ano type sa panel, I mean paghimo kag another panel na for pet type. And then this one is additional lang ni siya, but this is not part of the program, but this is a set na, so namoy magamit dire kaning pang progress bar or kaning key type. It means that kana ganing namoy mga restrictions on unsalay ma-type sa text field, unsalay ma-type. So meaning dili ka maka-type particularly sa imong program, dili nimo ma-type sa imong dili ka ka-type sa imong text field if dili siya belongs to A or Z. So meaning numbers dili ka ka-type, mga characters dili ka ka-type. So if gusto pud ka na for letters or numbers lang, i-not lang nimo siya, not. So meaning numbers lang. This is for number lang, and this is for if text lang ang mo input. Let's say example sa age dapat number lang. Sa price, dapat number lang. Sa name, dapat mga text lang. So, pwede nyo ni gamiton. Okay, and then, kani sa login na part, so, ang text file ani is account.txt, which is mautong na sa database. Again, type constructor dito na mo pasa og unsa na text file imong i-access. And then, ayan, i-read lang niya. After reading it, if is found, nani siya sa database na is found. So, read niya. If makita to niya, if true ang i-return ani, then meaning makalagin siya. So, check na to ang sa mga accounts na pwede na to malagin. So, you have admin 1 and admin 1, 2, 3. So, medyo ano siya. So, admin 1 and admin 1, 2, 3. So, login. So, incorrect daw. Saan itong text file dito? Admin I4 na daw 4. So, kulang isa 4. Ayan. Incorrect yapon. Admin 1 o admin 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 daw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ayun. Gani. Ano gani ko? Then, login successful and then there. No? So, mo ni ang plain and simple lang na UI. Okay? Plain and simple na UI lang ni siya. So, kani siya class, mag-increment ni ang value ni ID every time mag-add ka. So, kung mag-add po kong type, kasi Kyle here, and then di ko mag-add, let's say fish na siya. And then kaning value sa type ha, kaya naka-text file ni. So, if mag-add kag bago, then you can put there bago na file. Saan eh? Then, sa color, kaya gitawag lang akong J color chooser, makita lang na yun ang code. So, kung sa inyong gusto na color for that pet, and then sa breed, wala ni siya add new, pero pwede niyo i-address sa inyong text file. So, let's say, sap daw na kay fish, and then price is something like that. Then, there is sa age is automatic siya mag-calculate based sa imuhang year. Ayan, nadiri ang event niya. And then, add new. So, ma-record siya diha. And then, pag-click na ko ani, so, click na ko, wait lang. Clear lang ta, add new. Yan. And then, sa pay, delete sa natin niya. And then, yeah, that's it. And then, katong gibutang lang ako siya dire, gipakita na ko sa inyo kaning sa main program is that when you call this one, the parang gipakita lang ako anina that the things that I have done in my since naka-separate class siya, pwede na ko siya matawag anytime. So as you can see, since katong kanina naka-tab siya, so I can still do pet registration here. So if mag-add new ko, dapat na siya event nga wala. Anyway, and then gi-separate po na ako mga buttons siya na matawag po na ako siya sa tabs, meaning flexible siya, pwede na nimo siya ma-plaster anytime you want. And then, ang table is nabutang po na ako siya sa tab. So, depende na sa inyo kung unsaon niyo na siya pag-capture, no? Ay pag-design on your own. And then, more din akong ingon na add form. So, let's say mag-add ko type. Let's say, fish, crocodile, carabao. Sa may wala dire. X. Sa may wala din na sa ni cat, dog, fish, carabao, spider. Yan, spider. Add new. So, anong wala si spider? So, dapat, wala din ako butang action event. Sorry for that. Okay. So, kulangan na itong event. And then, yeah, that's it. Also, kay timer dira. Napod ang code sa timer diri sa tabs. There is tabs. There is sa this is there's a toolbar. So, yan. For time. Okay? So, I'm gonna be sharing this one to you because I want you guys to explore, and then pwede niyo na dili follow. You can use your own. You can get resources from here. So, what I would like you to do is I want you to create for your final project, You will create your program and you implement dili lang ni siya kay naghimo ka og program ha na naghimo ka program tapos wala nimo gi-OOP. Ang importante diri naka OOP. Itagana ta mo example unsaon pag OOP dapat OOP jud siya as in full blown object oriented OOP na as encapsulation, na si inheritance, na si polymorphism. So gitagana ta mo encapsulation kani si database encapsulation na ni. Then, kani sila mga listeners, kani sila naka inheritance na ni. And then, of course, kung na-inheritance, na-joy polymorphism. So, I'm going to share this one to you later on. Send na ko sa inyo hang dito sa, try na ko i-send sa ato ang group chat or dito sa ato ang, basta dito na lang sa unsa ni. Okay? So, sa Google Classroom. So, I just hope na na-capture ninyo to ang mga unsa ni. So, this time, I'm now going to sign off as your teacher. Actually, I still have a lot of things na unta i-share sa inyo, but I'm really busy. Medyo mabusy man gud ko with kasi na ako isa ka